Welcome everyone. We're here today to talk about a hot new musical that will be at the Cape Cod Theatre Company. It's called Crude, the Climate Change Musical, and spoiler alert, I'm the playwright. And I'm going to be interviewing today the director of the show, Fran Lautenberger, and many of the actors that are in the show. So please join us, and here we go.
The federal watchdogs can always be bought. We toss them a bone and we never get caught.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is Maureen Condon. I'm the playwright who's written a musical called Crude, the Climate Change Musical. And here with me today on the stage are three of the actors who are in the musical. Bob Moore, Brianna Notaro, and Seamus Sargent. And I'd like to ask you, and I want you to feel free to just jump in and say what you got to say. Why'd you decide to sign up for this musical? Bob?
Well, I saw the brief description they had on the webpage, which was about climate change, and I thought, I had just done Treasure Island, and I thought I'd like to get more current, and it's hard to beat that. And then I mentioned that, oh, Maureen Condon wrote this, and my wife said, I know Maureen. They worked together. You guys worked together at one point, and so then I went looking for whatever I could find on the web and said, this sounds cool. Let's try it.
I'm glad you did. And the funny thing is, I worked with Stephanie, your wife,
Yes.
10 years ago at a computer company called Mazinga. And I've seen her on Facebook, and we've kind of kept in touch that way. But I had no
Yes.
idea when you auditioned that you were married to her.
And, you know, you think social media tells you everything, but yeah.
Not quite.
But yeah, no, it's, after reading through the script, as you say, you're not pounding people over the head with it. In fact, there really are a couple truly gorgeous songs and a couple absolutely hysterical ones that don't necessarily address climate change, but
They're just fun.
they're just wonderful songs. And then, oh, incidentally, here are some things about climate change, which is probably the best way to sell it, yeah.
Brianna?
Well, I didn't originally audition for the show. Nina actually found me. I came to see Treasure Island, and she was like, hey, you should do Crude. Can I give the director your information? I was like, absolutely. This theater has been part of my life since I was 4 years old, and unfortunately I've been at a different theater all summers for 6 years. So I've missed out on being here. And when I heard that they're doing a brand new musical and that I had the opportunity to be a part of it, and like the idea of just being an original cast of something is so cool, and for such an important subject that people still don't believe is real. It's such a profound experience for me, especially as a high schooler, as 16, being able to do something so important and so amazing. I'm so delighted to be a part of it.
Oh, we're delighted to have you. Seamus, why did you decide to do Crude?
Well, it was completely off chance that I got involved in this. I was just doing some work around the Harvard Junior Theater because I was working as an apprentice this summer. And you and Fran happened to just walk in one time when I was just painting the doors, and you said, hey, we have this new musical, we need people, like, can you dance, can you sing? And I have like minimal singing experience and some dancing experience. I was like, you know, I'll give it a try. You sent me the script along, and we had our first read-through, and I kind of went in like having not really any idea what the story was about. Like I was told it was a climate change musical, and I was just like, okay, so this could be either like really fun, or it could be kind of like a informational kind of piece. But I just went in with a clear head, just see what you got, and we read through the script, and then I went home that night. I was like, this is hilarious. I was like, I am so glad to be a part of this story. This is absolutely hilarious. And as Brianna was saying, you know, it's a new musical. It's being a part of something for the first time. You know, like we're gonna be the people, the pioneers of this story, and it's just kind of exciting to be a part of that. And I'm just I'm glad to be here.
Oh, glad to have you. Tell me a little bit about each of you, the characters that you're playing and what you're doing in the show, and how you bring your own experience maybe with the environment into that. Is that a crazy question, maybe?
No, that's a pretty good question.
So you've been
Random.
a temp.
I've been a temp. I've worked in a couple different factories. I've worked landscaping, worked food
Wow.
service, worked retail. Just kind of just testing all the grounds so I can kind of get an idea of like the different characters that I could be playing, I guess.
That's perfect. So glad you bring that experience to it. How about you,
I was
Bob?
also a temp. Well, a couple of decades ago. I'm actually a librarian.
Uh-huh.
And the part I'm playing is the senior auditor. Some people would probably say, fine, from dry to dry, you know. What I actually like about my character was that he's sleazy. There's a touch of evil going on there, which makes him more interesting to play than a good guy. And with the stuff I'm engaged in, which is sort of trying to hide malfeasance in the accounting books, I think there's more than a little bit of business corruption going on with climate change. So that sort of works for me. Plus, yeah, just reading through it, I'm a bad guy. They're fun to be.
It is fun to be a bad guy. It's fun to write about them, too.
I bet.
So I'm in the ensemble, and I also play Jackie Barker, who is a member of the SEC.
That's right, you're investigating
You're a
me.
Fed.
I am.
She comes after me.
I'm spying on him and Chad. So, being so young, I haven't had the experience that these two have had, but I have been involved in theater for 12 years, and I've always been like the kind of person that can really get in touch with the character, no matter what character it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's been my passion. So I get to I learn about the character. I see, like, from the perspective I learned from Fran, I learned from you, like, all this stuff. Like, there was one line that I have about the crimes that Slickman and Chad had committed, and I had no idea what anything meant. And I had a conversation with you two, and they're like, okay, so, like, would you say wire fraud?
We're giving you a list
like,
of
list of
every
things, and I was just
white-collar
like-
crime we could come up with, and her eyes are just
whoa.
getting wider. It's a bad world out there.
I'm just like, I'm 16. I don't know what any of this means. But I've learned about.
I'm a little older. I'll fill you in.
I got to learn and love Jackie, and you know, I have this thing where I like to come up with like backgrounds for my characters, and
Yes.
as the SEC, she goes and she like arrests criminals and stuff. But like, I feel like Jackie does it for the hot criminals. You know, like I have like that.
There's a
thing
little
where-
rush in there, you know?
I do the same thing for all my
Wow,
ensemble
exciting
members.
it's going to be to bring down this one. Look in their eyes.
She actually, she goes undercover and like pretends to be like Chad's, like Anne called me a call girl. So it's like she pretends to be that, and
One of your lines
No.
in the movie, in one of the songs, was assigned to Hooker, I believe.
yeah, it was. Yeah, Chris, our wonderful musician. He was like, he had his thumb over the name. He goes,
That's right.
"What's your character name?" And I was like, Jackie Barker, and he takes it, like he gets his pencil, he takes it down, it's like, oh, or Hooker, that works.
I didn't want you to see that, I'm sorry.
I had to modify the show a little bit. So originally, the last version of the script had a hooker in it, and that was your part. We changed it. We cleaned it up a little bit. So
Just a little. We
Family-
left some
family
of it in
theater.
there.
Less makeup in this case, yeah.
So I see that you're all having fun with this. Tell me, anybody got a favorite song or a favorite moment without giving away the plot?
Karen's songs both crack me up. The temp and hold, please continue
yeah,
to
the-
hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she delivers them so well.
Yeah. I wrote that song, Hold, Please Continue to Hold, after one very long phone call where I listened to music for a long time trying to get through to somebody. And it came out.
Inspiration.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I gotta agree. The temp song is one of my favorites as well. Also, Bottom Line, which is very exciting. And I think the one that I'm not even in the song. I really love just watching my friends do it. Numbers Don't Lie.
Uh-huh.
That one, I was listening to that as they were rehearsing, and I was like, this is great. Like
You've named the two
lots
songs
fun.
I'm in, and I didn't list them as my favorites. Thanks a lot.
I have a few favorite moments. Obviously, my scenes as Jackie are really fun.
Yeah.
I love the first song, Trading and Crude. That's a really big favorite of mine. I love the Temp song, and I love the elevator. The elevator is...
Yep.
We won't say too much about that.
The
We'll
staging
be
alone.
surprised, but
No, the staging. I think we're having a little too much fun that last rehearsal. I know I was.
The dancing was very good, though. It won't be in the final show, but the dancing was great.
why won't it be in the final show? Is
Oh, it was
surprising?
completely unscripted. My friend Shiloh and I were just sitting there, just going for it. like-
Freestyling kept us entertained.
yeah. Well, the show was going on, you know. Little
During
eye
rehearsals,
candy, you
right.
know.
Okay. It's fun when you surprise the playwright. I missed a few rehearsals, so we'll see.
I think you'll be okay with it.
I'm sure I will be. We've got a great director, Fran, and she's done a great job. Do you have any questions for me about why I wrote the show or how it came to be?
What was like the first thing, like when did you know that you wanted to write a musical about climate change? Like what sparked it?
Oh my goodness. Well, a long time ago I was a newspaper reporter and I did environmental stories. So I've always been really hot on the environmental topic, and I worked for 5 years for a weather company and learned all about 100-year storms, which we're having every other minute these days. But I started writing it in earnest actually 10 years ago, and I had the idea for it. Originally it was going to be about a textile company and corporate sabotage and intrigue, but after some thought and developments, I thought it would be much better to be about climate change. And also, I was at a conference for songwriters, ASCAP, out in California, and I met a very talented singer-songwriter out there who was also a studio engineer. And I listened to his songs and I said, hey, I'd like to hire you to arrange my songs and sing them. So the demos that you've been using were arranged and produced by John McKenna, who lives out in Colorado.
okay.
And when I heard his sound, I said, my music's going to sound really great with his arrangements. So we've been working long distance for the last 10 years. I've gone out to Colorado. He's come here. We do a lot on the phone. He'll send me an email with a rough cut of the arrangement in it, and we tweak it together. And so it's been a really good collaboration on the arrangements. So
And it takes time.
it takes time. It does
Well,
take
10
time. I had a
years.
whole draft of the story done. I started September 2008. I had the first draft done 2009. I showed the first draft of it to Nina Schussler at the Cape Cod Theater Company in 2010, and she said, I love your music, because I had some of the demos done then, and she said, but the play needs some work. She said, I know there's a story in there, but it's not there yet. So I went back and worked on it and approached her again about a year and a half ago, and she said, yeah, I'm liking it. So here we are.
Great. Great. I've done a little writing, and it can take a long time to come up with something that you like. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. Rewriting is the secret to good writing. You know, everybody says that.
And having a good reader to give you feedback.
Right, right. And I did get some good feedback. I took the show to the Cape Rep Theater, and I took a couple of courses with Art Divine there, and he helped me, you know, shape it a little bit too. And so, and the New York Musical Festival, they
Right.
worked on it as a developmental reading there, and I got the perspective of the director there, who was Elana Ransom Toplitz, and the actors in New York that were hired through the New York Musical Festival, and they gave me input too. So
Wow,
it just
okay.
it evolved basically, and so I'm
Sure.
really thrilled now to have you all be performing it here.
Try and do it justice.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Is there anything else you want to say to the theater-going public?
Well, it's a new show. We never heard these songs before, so you certainly haven't. A lot of laughs and some surprisingly lovable moments.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy yourself.
No, it definitely, it's definitely, like you said, it's new. I think everyone will enjoy it, honestly.
I've done a lot of shows. This is my 24th,
Wow.
and some of my favorites. Like I've done Newsies. I've done a show called Trap, and I was so excited to come in and do the show. And I honestly have to say, out of all the other 23 productions that I've been a part of so far, this one is my favorite show that I've ever done.
Wow, thank
And
you.
yeah, and the cast is amazing. I get to work with some amazing people. It's an amazing, amazing show. The songs are, I love it so much. And anyone who comes to see it is just going to fall in love with it, just like I did. And it's so worth it.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here today, and thank you especially for being in the show, because you're so talented and so enthusiastic. It's very gratifying.
I'm hiding behind them, but thank you.
No, you're not. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for the opportunity for me.
I